What do you do when you're tasked with remaking one of the greatest survival horror games of all time, Silent Hill 2? Do you remain authentic to the characters and the story and simply modernize the graphics and the control settings? Or do you hire Sweet Baby Inc. 2.0 to censor and sanitize everything? Well, guess which way developers Blooper Team went. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. In actual fact, when I did a stream with Melanie Mack a little bit ago where we discussed our personal top 10 games of all time, Silent Hill 2 took the number 4 spot for me. I found it absolutely captivating at the time. My number 4 is a game that I don't want to be number 4.
Okay.
Because it's so good. It could be higher. We're going dark. We're going real dark here, and we're going Silent Hill 2.
Oh, that is a classic.
Silent Hill 2, to me, is the greatest survival horror game ever created. Using the power of the PlayStation 2, which was pretty new to the marketplace, we saw a story that really delved into the psyche of James Sunderland, a guy who was trying to come to terms with the death of his wife, Mary. But before we can proceed with today's video, we need to actually go back to 2001 and actually discuss the themes and the story of Silent Hill 2. So yes, this part will contain spoilers. It's 23 years old. Okay. Silent Hill 2 follows the character of James Sunderland, who receives a letter from his wife telling him to meet her at Silent Hill. However, his wife is dead and has been for some time, and so his curiosity is piqued as to who sent this letter and why. Upon arrival at Silent Hill, he eventually bumps into a group of eclectic characters, each of them having their own motivations for being in Silent Hill. He also meets a woman called Maria, who looks exceedingly like his wife, almost the spitting image. Apart from her hair's different, she dresses different and acts differently. She's more assertive, confident, sexy, dangerous. One might say that she's the embodiment of what James actually wanted his wife Mary to be, because his wife was actually dying of an incurable terminal disease that wasn't exactly specified. During the course of his trial and tribulations, we are introduced to the now iconic Pyramid Head, which seemingly wants to hunt down and kill James, a manifestation of James's guilt and his need for punishment. But why would James need to be punished? After all, his wife died of a terminal illness. Towards the end of the game, it's actually revealed that even though Mary did have a terminal illness, she died at the hands of James, who seemingly smothered her with a pillow. It's left open for interpretation as to the motivation for this. Was James putting Mary out of her misery and he didn't want her to die this slow lingering death? Or did James kill her for his own selfish reasons because he could no longer feel that he could look after this frail woman who wasn't giving him what he wanted? And we're talking emotionally and we're talking sexually as well, because sexual desire is also a prominent theme in Silent Hill. Hence why the character of Maria is dressed in a very provocative manner. Short skirt, exposed midriff, and tight top. After all, she's a representation of what James wants Mary to be, and he wants Mary to be sexually desirable. Silent Hill, after all, being a manifestation of your own emotions and your own personal hell. In the UK, the game carried an official 15 classification by the BBFC, meaning it was illegal to sell this to anyone below the age of 15, as regards to an ELSPA rating, which is more of a guideline. Silent Hill 2 deals with some very mature themes and is therefore rated accordingly. It also treats its audience as a mature audience as well that can handle these themes and interpret them the way that they see fit. Grief, guilt, punishment, sexual desire, They're all here in this game. And these themes are uncomfortable at times, and because of the nature of Silent Hill, can manifest in all kinds of twisted and perverted ways. When you don't understand them and you infantilize them, you get dumb tweets like this. As a game dev, I'm here to tell you these situations arise when there are too many men on a team. They overcorrect the hypersexuality of the 90s, and there's no woman in the room to say, relax. Some women like dressing in leopard print and crop tops, and that's okay. In attempting to mock people who are critical of Maria's new look in the Silent Hill 2 remake, this game developer shows that they fundamentally do not understand the themes of Silent Hill 2 and why Maria looks the way that she looks in comparison to Mary. In their desperate desire to curry favor, no doubt with their peers and the consultancy firms which they clearly bow down to, they display absolute and utter ignorance of thematical aspects of storytelling in general. But we are dealing with someone who's been partly responsible for The Last of Us Part 2 and the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, so I am pretty sure that complex storytelling is alien to them, and most likely never even played the game in the first place. Konami themselves didn't help matters when they came out with this tweet a couple of days ago. See how the Blooper Team devs working on Silent Hill 2 preserved authenticity while adapting a horror classic for modern audiences. This is Konami's first major mistake, because authenticity and modern audiences are actually a contradiction in terms. You cannot remain authentic to something when you are fundamentally changing it, bringing in a consultancy firm by the name Hit Detection to actually sanitize and censor your game. This is how the consultancy firm Hit Detection like to position themselves. Our commitment to building a team from a variety of backgrounds, including underrepresented groups. This diversity is a strength. Hit Detection leverages its greatest strengths to accurately predict media and consumer expectations at every stage of the development process. Oh, so you must have accurately predicted the massive backlash that you were going to get by this garbage representation of Maria. Yes, the very same Maria that actually represented an aspect of James's sexual desire for his wife is now transformed into God knows what on the right-hand side. They even had to move her tattoo from her midriff up to her left shoulder because they had censored her outfit so much, making it look even more ridiculous. So that woman that was the embodiment of guilt and sexual desire within James was actually too sexy for 2024, showing the immaturity of both Konami and the developers and the consultancy firm involved in this, showing that they are unable to deal with mature themes because we're dealing with immature, emotionally stunted adults that work at these organizations. Or the best case scenario, that they're just actually petrified at making something that is legitimately authentic to the source material because they fear repercussions from the ideologues or their peers for not towing the ideological line. Or as I like to call them, cowards. Angela didn't fare any better either, and it's hard to believe that there are 23 years difference between these two images. While yes, the one on the left is actually taken from a cutscene, this is the actual representation of what they wanted the character to look like. And with cutscenes now integrated into modern day games, this apparently on the right is what they thought Angela in 2024 should look like. That's not Angela. That's Mangela.
For a modern gaming audience. For a modern gaming audience.
I'm very excited for people to play this game. I want people to experience all of it. It's such a journey. It's such a big part of our lives, and I just want people to be able to see it.
If we were to take you at your word for what you've just said, then why would you feel it necessary to bring in a consultancy firm to sanitize and censor your game? Why wouldn't you have the fortitude to stick to the actual themes of Silent Hill 2? Why would you find it necessary to change the way that the characters look, the way that they were meant to be interpreted in 2001? You cannot be authentic when you say that you want to make it for the modern audience. A modern audience doesn't exist. The modern audience is a convenient term for you to go into a game and get rid of anything that you deem to be problematic, i.e. not conforming to your ideological standards. And your ideological standards are in the toilet. The exceedingly clunky looking gameplay trailer is reflected in the downvotes, with it nearly being ratioed as of just 3 days after release. Words like faithful and authentic hold no weight whatsoever with gamers when we can physically see that they are not. And we can see who you're bringing in to consult, and we can see how Konami position this
for a modern gaming audience.
You are the architects of your own downfall. So instead of shelling out your hard-earned money on this remake that's been made by a bunch of gaslighters that need to bring in a sensitivity consultancy firm because the themes of Silent Hill are a little bit too lofty for their immature, puerile brains, I recommend you spend that money on a very great game. It's called Silent Hill 2, and it was made in 2001. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye for now.
I'm not your Mary.